This Spider-Man doppelganger was a dreadful monster. Marvel has pulled quite a few surprises out of the bag when it comes to Spider-Man villains. The friendly neighborhood superhero had to deal with some absolutely monstrous enemies, such as Venom and Carnage, but the introduction of the doppelganger was probably one of the most shocking opponents that he had to deal with. The character was introduced in the original Infinity War comic book in the year 1992, and it was created by Jim Starlin and Ron Lim. Over the years, this beastly antagonist that looks like an animalistic and fanged Spider-Man became a serious threat to the web slinger and made the fans sit back and take notice. In this video, we decided to bring you everything you need to know about this terrifying Spider-Man villain. The snarling and vicious monster has been defeated several times, but he keeps coming back, and we will explore his creation and why he continues to pursue Spider-Man like a maniac. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. It all started in the comic version of Infinity War. The movie Avengers Infinity War was quite different from the comic version, which dealt with the emergence of the evil portion of Adam Warlock's soul, Magus. He planned to gain absolute power, and this evil entity started to operate from a far-off reality. Magus then started to acquire the Cosmic Containment Units, which were very similar to the Cosmic Cube. This enabled him to blend multiple realities together, and he created some demonic doppelgangers of the superheroes and villains, and he set them loose. He wanted to get his revenge against both Adam and the Mad Titan Thanos. After Reed Richards and Iron Man are defeated, things take a serious turn, and the remaining heroes barely escape being destroyed by the evil doubles that replaced the two. This is when the major superheroes took a crucial decision, and they decided to split up into two groups. One of the groups remained on Earth, and the other one travels to the far stretches of space. The traveling group planned to take down Thanos because they believed him to be the real enemy. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the superheroes had a tough time fighting their evil doppelgangers. Many were defeated and replaced, and Spider-Man was challenged by his monstrous replica. This was just one of many mindless forces created by Magus, and the beastly Spider-Man-like entity simply fought according to Magus's will. Eventually, after much turmoil, all the doppelgangers were destroyed after the defeat of Magus. Their bodies withered away into nothingness, but Spider-Man's doppelganger had another story to come. How the doppelganger changed his master. Magus was gone, and technically, Spider-Man's evil doppelganger should have been destroyed as well. However, there came a twist in the tale, courtesy of the Demogoblin. For this, you have to go back to the events of Infinity War in Spider-Man number 24, where Hobgoblin accidentally killed the doppelganger. Jason Sindel, the man behind Hobgoblin, had struck a deal with the demon for unlimited powers, but eventually, the demon was removed from his body and it became a separate individual entity. This became the Demogoblin, and although he was a demonic entity himself, he had this goal of eliminating all forms of evil from the world. He revived the doppelganger because he felt that the monstrous Spider-Man variant could help him in the war against evil. There is an epic battle between the doppelganger and Spider-Man, where the latter is shocked to find something so unique and powerful. He throws the doppelganger from a building, but he is still powerful enough to continue the fight. A magical link was established between the two, and this caused the doppelganger to survive even when the others were destroyed following the defeats of Magus. From this moment onwards, the doppelganger simply followed Demogoblin like his pet and obeyed his orders. Later, they did get separated, and the doppelganger was found by Carnage and Shriek. The latter adopted the doppelganger, and this did not please Carnage. In fact, when Carnage attacked Shriek in a fit of rage, the doppelganger tried to defend her like a loyal pet. Unfortunately, he was no match for Carnage, who threw him from a building after stabbing him. This was the second time that the doppelganger seemed to have died, but hold on, there was another comeback waiting to happen. The third return from the dead for the doppelganger, as it turned out that the doppelganger was immune to being stabbed or being thrown from buildings. Thus, he was back and served as the loyal pet of Carnage and Shriek once again. The doppelganger even helped Carnage spread chaos around Manhattan before Spider-Man and Iron Man managed to stop him. Later, he also joined the cult of No, which was all about the revival of the dark god No, and it was only after the fall of Carnage that the doppelganger could be successfully captured by the authorities. What makes the doppelganger so powerful? One big question for many Spider-Man fans is just how powerful the doppelganger really is. And the answer is really simple. He is easily stronger than Spider-Man in terms of brute strength, and he has all the abilities that the friendly neighborhood superhero possesses. For instance, Apart from his superhuman strength, agility, and stamina, he could also shoot webs which were sharp like razors. He had sharp talons and fangs which could rip apart human tissues, and his wall climbing skills were no less than Spider-Man because of his 6 arms. His only shortcoming was his lack of intelligence, and this was largely because of his animalistic nature. His instincts were like that of a dangerous pet, and he could only follow instructions. His savage nature meant that he couldn't even speak for a long time, and later when he could, his vocabulary was rather limited. Thus, he could be outsmarted quite easily, even though he was very powerful. Doppelganger in Spider-Man games. The gamers will surely remember this deadly boss level enemy in the video game titled Spider-Man and Venom: Maximum Carnage. This side-scrolling game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System was quite popular, and it featured several heroes including Spider-Man. Doppelganger was one of the toughest to fight, and you had to face some tough challenges before sneaking past him. Our final words. The Doppelganger enjoyed an extensive run in comic book history, but that hasn't been reflected in the movie universe. With his uniqueness and his ability to trouble Spider-Man, he can be a potential candidate for a gripping villain in an upcoming movie. We understand that he wouldn't be able to fight individually because of his mindless nature, but he could be more than a potent ally for some twisted, evil antagonist who could spice up the Spider-Man movie universe. So, what did you think? If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.